All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is Morning Matters here on the This Matters Philosophy Man YouTube and TikTok channel. And 6:33. I'm gonna start on time one of these days. So interesting today. I woke up literally at 5. Alarm clock went off at 5:30. And then I got distracted. I need to come. Maybe I really need to think. Maybe I have to start this a little earlier because I got distracted. I made a post, um, and I tend not to be left or right. And what that means is that both sides hate me. And so I made a post that called "The Hypocrisy of Our Democracy," and I'm getting comments from both sides of people um who think I'm wrong. So I think I gotta do another podcast. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call it, which is gonna be more on how we come together. Like there's gotta be there is a way. Um but just showing that our echo chambers are bad. But anyway, the point being is I got wrapped up in responding, and therefore I was late, and I was explaining to people how if you believe you can not believe in DEI and also not be a racist. that was what I was trying to explain to people this morning. Like you don't have to 100% believe in something in order to or disagree, or if you disagree or you agree with something, it doesn't necessarily make you a racist, an animal, or this or that. Like we use these extreme words to make our points. I guess do I? I don't. I try not to. I'm very. I am very hesitant to use words like racist, Nazi, animal, thug. Can't think of whatever words people use to dehumanize other people, to make their point sound stronger. I try to avoid using those words unless it's clear cut. Somebody, if it's clear cut, then it's clear cut. But anyway, as you can see, it's still on my mind. So I gotta etch a sketch my head. For those of you who are younger, don't know what an etch a sketch was, but it's just basically, it was this thing you would draw on. It had these two little knobs, and you would twist them, and you'd make pictures. Some people made amazing pictures with etch a sketches. I was like, how do you do that? How does it just go up? It just goes up and down, left and right. How are you making these amazing curves and amazing pictures? But anyway, so when you wanted to get rid of the picture, you just shook the etch a sketch, and that would you'll be able to start over. So I'm trying to. There we go. I'm etch a sketching my brain, and we're gonna start over. We're gonna start with our morning matters. We're gonna start off on a positive, hallelujah, positive note this morning, and we're gonna talk about our goals. I'm not gonna talk so much this morning. I'm gonna get to the video, although I do want to make a clip of this, and I try to explain goals, and then I don't do it succinctly because my brain don't work in straight lines. And so I'm going to explain goals so that I can break it up into 3-minute clips today. But here's what we do every morning on Morning Matters. Number one, we go over our goals. So if you don't have your goals, you should set them. If you don't know what a goal means or how to set them, that's what I'm going to explain. And I reread them. You got to look at them every day. It's one thing. The first step is to make the goals. The second step is to write them down. The third step is to actually make a plan, right? Make some plan to hit these goals. And then the next step is to look at them every day and remind yourself of what it is you wanted. Because if you don't remind yourself, then you simply will forget, unless now there are people who, if it's a really strong goal, and they're, when you have someone who's like, I'm going to be a doctor, or I'm going to be an NBA player, and they're up at super early in the morning running, or they study and it's no problem, like, because they're so focused on their goals, then yeah, that's a little, you don't probably don't need to get up and remind yourself of your goals. But if you're like the rest of us who, we make goals and we say that would be nice, but then life gets in the way. It's like, I would love to, lose uh 40 pounds, but then, you have kids, you have a career, you have life, you have, things that go on that distract you and make you forget. And it's not like the one and only burning passion in your life. Then you need to remind yourself. Then this is what Morning Matters is about. It's about waking up in the morning, looking at your goals, remembering what you want, and re-energizing yourself, refocusing yourself every day, to be in the right direction. Stay on the path, stay on the road. This has definitely kept me on the road. Like, I trust me, like every morning, like, if I didn't have this, if I didn't say, hey, I'm doing this podcast every single morning at 6:30, I would have overslept like 3 or 4 times. I probably wouldn't have been up today, right now, talking to you. I would have just kept arguing on Instagram. I looked, I was like, on Facebook, I was like, oh crap, I gotta stop. I literally immediately said, I gotta stop typing this, and I gotta go jump on and get focused on my goals. So yeah, that's the importance of goals. The importance of goals is not to hit the goal, but it is to strive towards it, and therefore get further along. And that's why we do this every single morning. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to explain goals, what it means to be a goal, what you have to do, and then I'm going to go over my goals. Hopefully, if you have yours, you read through yours, because you might be interested in my goals, but I'm more than positive you're more interested in your own. And then we'll watch a little. Who do I have up? Where I didn't actually play him yesterday because I ran out of time because I talked too much. But it's all right. We got plenty of days to go. Brian Tracy. We're going to listen to some Brian Tracy. Is that what we're going to listen to? Who we got today? Yeah, we got some Brian Tracy. We'll do some Brian Tracy again. Yeah, sure. So we'll pull that up. We'll listen to that, and then we'll be on our way this morning. And I'll be off to the gym. So it is the 18th day. I've run every single day. Now, I will admit, the last couple days, like yesterday was pretty good, but I mean, I have not been on the street running, and because I wanted to go run and go to the gym, I've done both, but I haven't been able to go to the gym and then go run outside. I just haven't given myself enough time before I've had to start work now. But we'll talk about it. All right, so let's talk about goal setting and what is effective goal setting, what it means to be a goal. And I'm going to not go on a tangent. So here's what it is. So goals have to be 3 things. The first thing they have to be is they have to be measurable. You have to be able to say you hit the goal or you did not hit the goal. So a lot of times when people set goals, they say things like, I want to lose weight, or I want to make a lot of money, or I want to be happy. Like, they say things like that. And these are not goals. They're desires, their wishes, their dreams, but they're not goals in the technical sense, because you can't be a goal unless you can say specifically that you hit it or you didn't hit it, right? So make a lot of money is not like a specific, you can't say what is a lot, right? Lose weight. Well, what does that mean? Like, so, I mean, I guess you could say, well, I lost a half a pound today, so therefore I lost weight, right? Be happy is just, you can just change your mindset right now and you just decide to be happy. So those things are byproducts. Happiness and all these vagaries are byproducts of goals. So it has to be measurable. That's the first step. All right. So you can't be make a lot of money. It's make $100,000 this year, or save this amount of money this year, or whatever. It doesn't have to be a year. It has to be, could be 5 years, could be 3. Well, that brings us to the next point. It could be whatever time frame you want, but it has to have a time frame. All right. So a goal has to have a time frame. We say this almost every morning. And but if you don't have a time frame, then you never can fail, right? That's why people do that. So you have to say it's a year, it's a 1 year goal, it's a 1 month goal, it's a 3 month goal, it's a 5 year goal. It has to have a time frame. It has to have a time when it ends. Because if it doesn't have a time, then you can always just push it off and say, I want to make $1 million. When? Didn't do it this year. Didn't do that year. Didn't do the year before. I want to get I want to get good grades, or I want to get an A. Which class? This semester? Next semester? When? So there has to be a time frame. It has to be an end to the goal. And the reason why you need these two things is because you need to be able to say, I hit the goal or I didn't hit the goal. And the reason people don't want to do these things, make them measurable, make them and give a time frame, is because they don't like failure. And we need to overcome that fear of failure. All right. It's okay to fail. I've probably failed at like 75% of the goals that I've set, but I've gotten further along and closer. So like if I set a goal, or if you set a goal, whatever your goal is this year. My goal this year is to make, I know my goal, $112,347, right? In not this year, like in my calendar year since my birthday, right? So let's say I only make 100,000. Let's say I make 80,000, right? So I failed my goal, but guess what? I probably got a lot. I probably made the 80 or 100 or whatever. Got there because of the fact that I had the goal. Maybe that number is ridiculous to you. Maybe you're like, you're a chump. I want to make 500,000 this year. Great. If you're like, hey, I'm in college and taking classes. That'd be great if I made 50,000, 40,000. That'd be great. Over a summer job, whatever. Like, your goals are your goals. The point I'm trying to tell you is that don't compare yourself to anyone else. Run your own race. And the second thing is it have to have a failure, right? Or either a success or a failure. Now, if you fail, now you can look back at your plan and say, okay, well, I set this goal. I went after it. I didn't hit it. What went wrong? Right? That's the best part, right? To say, if you hit it, you go, great. Now, was it too easy? Maybe I set it too low. Let's reset. Let's make some new ones. Let's go after something else, right? That's how it works. But if you don't hit it, then you look back and say, okay, what was the reason I didn't hit it? Was the plan bad? Were my disciplines bad? Was I not motivated? Did I not remember what the goal was? Did I just put it in? So many times, by the way, I've been on my computer and I looked up like goals, and I'm like, oh, goals from 2019. And I was like, I think I wrote this and I never looked at it again. Right. So the point being is that the end point allows you to see if you hit or miss, and then it allows you to go and make corrections and see if you want some new goals, right? Or fix the plan, or find out how to do better. Failure is feedback, right? And then the last part of being a goal is, and then we'll move on to my goals, and then we'll move on to the video, because again, I'm chit-chatting a lot. So the last part of setting goals is you have to write it down, right? So that has to be written down, because by writing it down, you make it concrete. You can't change it. If you put it in your head, you barter with yourself. As you get closer, if you're not close, you kind of change it, and you could say, oh, maybe I didn't want to make 100. I'm okay with 80, right? So by writing it down, it makes it concrete. So those are the three categories, the three parameters needed to have a real goal. So let's go through my goals. You hopefully make yours, or while you're listening, you sit and take some time to make your own goals. And let me pull mine up over here, because that's too small for me to see. I'm going to speed run these today, just because, again, I want to get to the video. But here we go. So decrease bad debt by $25,000, buy $10,000 of Tesla stock. This is, by the way, by the time I turn 50, so that would be September 13th, 19. Excuse me, 19. That's when I was born, and then back in the 1900s, 2026. Saved $7,000, raised my credit score by 150 points. Health A1C down 6.5 or lower, average weekly blood sugar under 150, weight down 250 pounds or less, complete a half marathon, bench press 225 pounds, squat 225 for 10. Yesterday I did hack squats, and again, it's interesting as I read these. I'm thinking I'm because I want to get to the video today because I didn't get there yesterday. I'm looking at these things. I'm like, okay, that's up, that's down. I got to work on this. Like the whole point of reading these and going over these every day, and as you should go over yours, is to say, okay, here's where I'm falling short there, or I did this and I didn't do that, or hey, look, that's pat on the back. All right. Hey, blood sugar was under 150 again today. So that's cool. So whatever I'm doing in that arena is good. And like the squat for 225, I was like, man, I haven't been doing squats. So I did hack squats yesterday, and I did legs in the gym, right? But if I wasn't reading my goals, I wouldn't have remembered, or I wouldn't have been focused on doing legs, because I hate doing legs. Right. So anyway, disciplines, financial discipline, weekly budget video, do that tomorrow. Work daily on getting my income to 112,347. So yesterday I had an interview. I went and did some solar stuff. I met with a couple customers. I sent out I did things to get me towards and I also drove Lyft a little bit to make some money on the side. I had a cancellation, so I went and drove Lyft instead of just driving home. And make daily videos and weekly podcasts. Here we are. Jog every day. Still on track with that. 18 days in a row. Minimum gym, minimum 3 days a week. So this will be the first week that I did that. I failed last week. I didn't go to the gym at all. I've already hit the minimum 3 days as of yesterday. So it's Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I already hit it. I did chest, shoulders, and legs yesterday. So today I'm going to do arms. Arms is going to be quicker, and then I'm going to run because I've been running at nighttime, and running at night is not my gig. And then intermittent fast, started 2, ended 9. I failed that yesterday. I ate, so after I went running late because I went to the gym, I had to leave. I went and ran. I went to, and then it was like 9 o'clock, and I was like, I gotta run. And I didn't want to run outside, so I went to the gym and I ran at the gym. And then after I ran, I came home and I was tired. I took a shower, and then I ate something, and it was way past 9 p.m. So I failed that one yesterday. So today I will improve and get better. That's what we do. All right. So let's. Those are my goals. Those are my disciplines. Let's get to our morning motivation video here, and then we can get our day started. Let's do this one. We're going to do this. Open. Let's bring it up. Listen to most of this. This is going to move forward because we listened to this the other day.
We will go to the moon in the next decade. He spoke it. That was a commitment, and people shared that vision.
Hold on.
But you've got to be willing to stand there and face.
So this is Les Brown. We got halfway through this video. I remember I have the time mark here. I just want to get to there. It was right around here. All right, Les, let's go.
No money down? No, get away from our door. Thank you very kindly. Do you know anybody else would be? Yeah, my cousin, he lives 2 doors down. Thank you very kindly. I tell him you sent me. When I heard your cousin told me that you wanted to buy a television set, told me to come here and talk to you, we got a special discount for you. Yes, come in, I'm interested. I would just keep right on. I would not go home until I did it.
I need this whole part. Sorry. This is about him doing door-to-door sales. I'm assuming.
I used to be a door-to-door salesman. I had X number of TVs. I had a minimum amount that I knew I had to sell every day in order to provide for my mother, who was ill at the time, who had lost her job at the M&M cafeteria because of arthritis. And I said, I'm going to go door to door, and sometimes I would not come home until 1 o'clock at night, knocking on people's door, people closing. What do you want? Would you like to buy a nice working month's television set, no money down? No. What about an Emerson TV? No. Thank you very much. Do you know anybody else that would be interested? No. Thank you very kindly. Knock on another. Hello. Would you like to buy a nice working television set, no money down? No, get away from our door. Thank you very kindly. Do you know anybody else would be? Yeah, my cousin, he lives 2 doors down. Thank you very kindly. I tell him you sent me. When I heard your cousin told me that you wanted to buy a television set, told me to come here and talk to you, we got a special discount for you. Yes, come in, I'm interested. I would just keep right on. I would not go home until I did it. It's an interesting thing, ladies and gentlemen, that when we put ourselves in a situation where we say we're going to do it, it puts you in another zone where the universe responds to you. When you have that kind of consciousness, see, the universe responds to the man or woman that refuses to be denied, because that is your commitment. That business that you want, that book you want to write, that dream that you have of controlling your destiny, that is yours. That power to create that and to manifest that, that is yours. That's available to you. But you've got to be willing to stand there and face disappointment, not have support, be lonely, doubt yourself sometimes, be rejected again and again and again, become bankrupt if necessary, again and again and again, and refuse to turn around until life gives it up. Nothing can resist a person that has that kind of commitment. The people that have made a difference on the planet. When John F. Kennedy said, we will go to the moon in the next decade, he spoke it. That was a commitment, and people shared that vision. People bought into that. We've had all kinds of examples in history where people have made declarations, who have committed their lives to bring about a difference. There are people who are taking a stand today against hunger. I guarantee you it will be a part of our past at some point in time. Someone took a stand against polio. It no longer plagues us as it once did, because someone said, it is my commitment to eradicate it from the face of the earth. Someone made the commitment. The reason that we're here and enjoying the democracy that we have, someone made a commitment that whatever is required, if it means that I die. I remember Paul Robeson, here I stand, for I can do no other. And that's how you must be. Commitment means standing up for your life. It means honoring yourself. It means beginning to say and to see and recognize your alignment and oneness with the universe, and that you are a channel for life to express through. And we short-circuit it with anger. We short-circuit it with fear. We short-circuit it with envy. We short-circuit it by being lazy or apathetic or giving up easily. Why? We say, oh, it's too hard, it's too hard. We don't challenge our spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing as powerful as the human spirit. You can't destroy it. You can pervert it, but you can't destroy it. I was reading Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. What a powerful book. I'm reading it now for the 7th time. And he gives so many graphic examples of the power of the human spirit. And so what are some of the things that can fortify us and give us the kind of inner...
Let me hold up there. So it was interesting as I was listening to that. What it made me first think of is, like, today. It's really interesting that that I decided to play that clip, is because today is like the day I'm supposed to go, and I've been kind of dreading it, and just make phone calls for solar, right? That's what I work right now. And it's like, I just got to basically just give me a list of people just to call, right? And it's one of the things I hate doing. I love selling solar. I think it's a great product. It helps people. I think it's everyone that can go solar should go solar. And literally yesterday I had somebody who didn't go solar, and I did a bad job, because they could have saved $100 a month, and then they would have saved also $5,000. They would have got $5,000 from the state, and I botched it, right? So for some reason, that all he could think about was, I'm only saving $100. I'm like, no, you're not. You're getting $5,000 for doing this, and why would you pay an extra $100 a month because you can only save $100 a month? Like, it was a third of his bill. I'm like, doesn't cost you anything. Your bill's going to go down by 33%. So I obviously did a bad job. And then after that, since I did a bad job, as I went outside and I thought about what went on. I was like, how can I change that mental state? Right? Because his thought was $100 a month is not enough. And what I thought of is, the way I could have countered that was $100 a month. You're right. It's not a lot of money. However, if I was sitting here and at the end of the year, you got a bill from the utility company, and the bill was $1,200 extra that you had to pay. It was like an extra $1,200 you have to pay. Would you be happy about that? Right? And see if how that would have went. And then what if they told you could break it up over a year, and you could pay just $100 extra a month to repay this $1,200 extra that you have to pay? Would that make you happy? No. So maybe that would have flipped the concept in his head, and said, well, that's exactly what you're doing right now. You're paying $1,200 more than you have to, but you're just paying $100 more a month than you have to. So anyway, my point is, I listened to that and I thought, the part I don't like about solar is just cold calling people and trying to get people to sit down and talk about it. And so today, that's what I got to do. I got to sit and call lists of people for like 2 hours. And so I've been dreading that. So it's interesting that I picked this randomly, and that part went up, and it was talking about him, doing what he had to do for his mom. But then as he talked more, I'm like, this is not relating to the solar business. This is relating to this, what I'm doing right now. Because the podcasting is what I like to do. The podcasting is what, doing these types of talks to you and to you is what I want to do. I want to motivate people. I want to entertain people. I want to give people some more knowledge, some more things to look at, some eye-opening ideas, and to build this audience. And so that means I need to, and listening to talks, I got to do more. I got to make sure I'm consistent. I got to make sure I do more, and make sure I keep going, and keep promoting, and keep making good content, and keep waking up in the morning, and all the things I need to get done to do it. So, all right. Etch a Sketch was shook. I'm ready to go. We're off to enjoy another day above ground. And we'll go from there. So it is 7:01. Thank you for joining me this morning for Morning Matters. We do this every morning from 6:30 to 7 o'clock, just to get our minds in the right mindset. We go over our goals. We go over what it means to have a goal. We go over a little bit of mental motivation with the video, and then we go and get it. So I will see all of you tomorrow, and I'm glad this morning mattered. Mm-mm.